Hey guys, so today we're at the van making a little list of things we want to change and improve and fix before the next big trip.
See, I know all of you were thinking, what could we possibly want to change, and that Vinny is absolutely perfect.
To look at from a distance, from the outside, and actually in here.
He does not look 28 years old, let's put it that way.
He doesn't. So we've cleaned him inside and outside, and he does actually look pretty good. We've just done a huge trip around Europe and we're about to do another one in this little old van. But today we thought we'd take you around and show you some of the little things that are quite far from perfect on the van.
Hopefully this video will help reassure those of you who've got an old van or are looking to buy an old van that it's totally fine to go on a big trip, a big adventure,
and not worry.
So here we go.
So here we have the first imperfection of the van, Dizzy. Only joking, he's perfect.
First of all, we're going to talk about our aircon system. Now it's a bit dated and it's generally only on.
That's the windows. We have the draftiest van ever. If it's just cold and there's no wind, you're okay. But as soon as there's a cold wind blowing, it's freezing inside the van. So yes, first on our list of imperfections of our van is definitely the windows.
So continuing on the window theme, we do have issues with most of our windows. Well, not most of them, the front, the rear and the side. The front window, we had a little gap in the windscreen
and now it's completely leaking. It's almost
actually dripping. It's almost like a tap has been left on. We have sort of fixed it. We siliconed and taped it, and that does the job most of the time. When it's proper peeing it down, you still get a leak from there. And then the back as well. There seems to be a mysterious leak down the sides of the door. Now it was ajar a bit, so we adjusted this slightly, which did resolve the problem on most occasions. But again, when it's peeing it down, cats and dogs, there's a leak down the sides, the curtains get a bit wet, and there's a little sort of wet patch on the carpet. So that's a little mystery. We also have a strange puddle appearing on the side step. Now we don't know how it gets there. There's no break in the seal all the way around the door, but when it rains heavily, there's always a big puddle there.
We do have some other issues. See, this window here doesn't keep out intruders. So as you can see, you can just open this window from the outside, and obviously that's not very good for security. So we had some of these poles lying around and we cut them down to size, and we got some of these little rubber chair ends or table ends or whatever they're called, popped them on the end, and now this is our window lock, and it actually works really, really well. So there you go. Now that window is really locked. So like no one, you really can't get into there. In fact, having this bar here is better than the other window. So we actually made one for that window too. So it's like a double locking system. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I actually thought our nets on these windows were perfect, and I was going to actually just say there's nothing wrong with these, but there's a little hole that's appeared. A little hole! And that's going to let in more than a mosquito. In fact, a bumblebee could get in there. But that's fine, I can just stitch that up.
We like bumblebees anyway.
And we do like bumblebees.
Let them in.
We do like bumblebees. We don't like mosquitoes. So I will stitch that up with some cotton. So that's not really a problem. So another feature of our van that is far from perfect is all of the electrics, the lights. This one up here is really bright, which is good, but it's quite high powered. It's like 15 or 20 watts, so that's just too hungry for the van really. So we need to change that bulb, plus it hasn't got a cover on the front of it. And then the other light, the kitchen light, doesn't even work anymore, and it's a really old school retro bulb. Basically, everything is a little bit faulty, a little bit old. In fact,
temperamental, one might say.
Temperamental is a good word. We do need to replace some wires. We do need to get things working again, because now the fridge has stopped working. Changed the leisure battery over, we've probably knocked something out. And the heater has stopped working as well. Before, you just had to bash the heater. You switched it on, it didn't work, you gave it a bash, and then it worked. But now it's not working at all, so we need to look at that. And then all of this retro control panel, these don't do anything. These are from the old system. And then, see, oh, it is working. That's the pump for the water, but it's, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, your water pressure and your wastewater, that's still working, the batteries are still working. None of those, we don't even know what they mean.
Some other issues we've had with Vinny are his doors.
So you might be wondering why we have a ladder holding up our back door. A few months ago, the hydraulic arm that we have here, there was another one on this side, but it broke. So one hydraulic arm doesn't hold up the boot. You need two. So we need to get another one of these. So for now, we use the ladder.
Works quite well actually, doesn't it?
It does work quite well. And we're always going to have the ladder. It's handy to have the ladder to get onto the roof, to check your solar panels, to go picking wild fruits from trees, and anything else you might need a ladder for. Now, Mummy needs to go underneath. Not a game, no. And you're all dusty. Probably need to put some new ones of these on. Hey. Might have to just do this. Hey. Might have to redo this mud flap. Yes, so this, for example, is kind of, these two are far more interesting than the mud flap.
That little position.
You see, this is what happens. We come out to make a video and we just get distracted. Or we come out to do some work on the van and we just get distracted by the dogs and end up just playing with them and filming them. Here we have a brand new contender for imperfections on the van, and that's the aerial. Now this actually happened not that long ago when we were going down a small narrow lane back from a lovely beach, and the aerial was sticking out and it just snapped straight off. Gosh, we knocked the aerial. Oh god.
What?
Broken the aerial.
Really?
Broken the aerial. So now we don't have an aerial, but we never use the aerial anyway, so this one's not really that much of a problem and we probably won't bother replacing it. While I'm here, I may as well mention this little issue. If you can see that, it's a little bit of rust. Now the van is a 28-year-old Ford, so things like this are quite common on this van. Before we went off on the last trip, we did lots of little bits like this ourselves. We didn't do this area, but on the wheel arches, for example, Nick did this last year with the rotary tool. We filled it in and painted over it, and as you can see, that's done pretty well. So yeah, you don't need a professional job to get rid of little bits of rust. You can keep on track of it yourself.
As you can see, there's quite a few little spots of rust all the way along the rim. And the good thing about old van, you can botch them up and do them yourself.
So we're just gonna do some more of these again before the next trip.
Things like that, superficial things and aesthetic things, you can just do yourself, because in the end the engine's the most important thing. It needs to get you from A to B to C to D. All the pretty stuff you can just do yourself.
So when we bought the van, these two seats, the driver and the passenger, were just ruined. They were so ripped and in a mess and needed completely redoing. So we actually did them ourselves with this funky material that we actually quite like, knowing that when this happens, see this ripped, this is ripped now, that we can just get a patch Here's one I prepared earlier. And then I'll stitch a new patch straight onto the chair like I did before, over that, and it's as good as new. The biggest issue we have at the moment of all of the other issues, and we don't know what we're going to do to resolve it, is this. As you can see, this window has been cracked. The good thing is it's a double glazed window, if you like, so there's a piece of plastic the other side, so it's still obviously waterproof. But yes, this happened. Our bike rack was on the back with the bikes on it. We went off, we came back, and someone must have reversed into us or hit the bike rack. There was absolutely no damage, but the bike rack had moved and the handlebar of the bike went in and cracked the window.
So annoying though, because normally every time I turn the handlebars round so they're sort of parallel to the window, but we're in a rush. Last time I put them back on, didn't do that, and if I had done, then this would have been fine.
Yeah, but it was just a small crack. It's been a small crack for months, and we taped up, and then just recently it's just gone all the way across. So we're not sure what to do about this really. We could maybe put just a regular window in there, or we could just leave it and have it like this. I'm not sure if it will pass its MOT, or
cut it out.
Cut it out. I was thinking you could just cut this window out, because there's another window. This is absolutely fine. So I wonder if we could just cut that outer window out. What do you think? I mean, it'd still be rainproof, wouldn't it?
So any thoughts on that? Any ideas? What would be the best scenario?
I mean, obviously the best scenario is to get it replaced,
yeah.
But this is probably going to cost us quite a bit of money. We'd rather save that for the engine and travelling, like we said before.
So any thoughts? Just drop them in the comments.
We do still love him, and we get by with things how they are, and you know, we still have an awesome time, and we really don't mind these little things that are not quite perfect.
They make him Vinny, don't they?
It's just like us, we're not quite perfect. Okay guys, so this was just a couple of little things, just a couple, that we have to fix, or we might not fix, with the van before we head off.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it makes you feel a little bit better about your van if you've got an old one. And yeah, see you in the next one. Video, that is.
Not van.
Not Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that like button below.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel, then please do, and keep the comments coming, because we absolutely love to hear from you.
And we'll see you in the next video. So that's it. He's not perfect, but he's our van and we love him.
By the way, one more thing, check out our new rugs, because we think they're ace.